good evening, and good evening. Welcome to this week's episode of Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Bolden Hammond. And tonight I am favored with one of my HPOP
We heal
recipients.
ourselves. We heal our community.
Yes, we heal ourselves, we heal our communities. Kristian Wilson, she is here from Aspirations. And let me tell you, we connected because we are both similar about the mindfulness. So she's going to be coming to us tonight. One, I must say also that she is an author as well. And she will be showing you some of the techniques that she'll be talking about, what it is about mindfulness, because I do know that a lot of us don't know what it is. It could be foreign to some, and it's a practice that you have to practice. That's the word too. You have to practice. So, Kristian, thank you so much for coming on tonight and saying yes. We really do appreciate that. So, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I am Chris, Jacksonville, Florida, Duval representing tonight. But I have been in therapy, honestly, as in a private practice realm, honestly, for the past 5 years. I started undergrad here in Jacksonville, Florida, psychology, minor social welfare. And then I just went into nonprofits, went into the prisons, went into the schools, and just finally ended up in a private practice realm. And I think that's where I thrive the most, because that's where individuals actually want to kind of like do the work and, implement the things that we're actually like talking about, versus people who actually are being, made to do it. These are people who actually want to do it. They're coming and they're wanting to do the work. So I love it here. I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. And mindfulness is one of the things that I talk about every day.
And it's so important that, we practice mindfulness, because in everything that we do, and what I love about your book, Mindful Moments, capturing clarity in each day, because something always happens in our day that make us go,
Mm-hmm.
even in the portion of, we may have planned out our day, we have those planners or we had those things on our phone, but without having that obstacle come, it wouldn't be something different. It's not normal. Something has to change without your day, but practicing some of these keys of mindfulness can actually help us grow. So the first question I have for you is, what are your thoughts or belief that you have about mindfulness and that how it nurtures?
To me, mindfulness is about being present without judgment, period. That's what it is. It's offering you a safe space to actually observe your thoughts and feelings in a non-judgmental way. Like, it's a no judgment zone. It allows you to take a step back from the noise, and just actually clear your mind and connect, mind, body, soul once again. And I believe that mindfulness actually can create a sanctuary. You're creating this in your mind. Again, mindfulness. So we're creating this in our minds. Our thoughts predict our actions, and our actions predict our behaviors. And after we behave, we go back and we start thinking about it again. So creating this sanctuary in our mind helps us produce a more connection within ourselves, a more peaceful, and it also nurtures us into self-compassion and self-love with personal growth. And that's why when I did make the actual, journal planner that I sent to you, Mindful Moments, each day, you're sitting back, you're making your day, like you said, like, I'm making my day, 8 o'clock, I'm doing this, 9 o'clock, I'm doing this. But you have to actually put yourself into some flexibility in there. You know what I mean? You got to put like, okay, if something fumbles, where can I come back and can I slide this on to the next day? So that's the beauty about the journal that I created, because you have your times, but you also have like your little to-do list at the bottom. You know what I mean? So even though you're creating that space, you have to create that space again in the journal. You have a reflection phase, and you don't have to do these things every day. You know what I mean? You don't have to, but it's good to do it in the beginning, kind of on an everyday basis, because again, it's that practice that's what's going to make it better. So, but honestly, 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes
Yes.
reflection, and that's where you start. That's where you start. But to answer your question in a long, drawn out way, it's
You
about being present without judgment.
right.
Period. That's what it is.
Right. And you said it, and your journal is awesome. The journal is awesome. Look, guys, you're gonna have to go get it. I'm gonna set up the link right here, right now, so you can get this because it is essential. I mean, she has everything down from the time where you can plan. I love the fact that you put the self-care, because a lot of us, especially females, we take care of everybody else,
Right.
but we don't take the time out for us.
We get lost
And
in the sauce. We get lost in the sauce. But that's why you have to make goals. That's another piece of, being mindful. Like when you're self-reflecting, we're being mindful. Okay, what am I being mindful about? What am I self-reflecting about? I'm self-reflecting on the goals that I'm actually setting for myself. And self-care is a goal. Not you cannot continue to pour and pour and not pour back into yourself.
exactly. And that's sometimes we get it. And that goes to the next question. So, what does self-love look like, and how can one express it?
Short answer: gentle, intentional care. That's what self-love is. Gentle, intentional care. Whether it's setting boundaries, resting when you need to, like when you're sick. A lot of people of us, we go, like, oh, I just take a Tylenol PM when I get home. We go. We don't rest when we're sick. We don't check on ourselves when we need to. Or either like celebrating personal successes. Like that is self-care. Those are ways that self-care manifests. Another way is like today, let's just say, for example, or tonight, since we are doing this at night, you can express it by doing something kind for yourself. One thing. That's it. Just one thing. That's a thing of self-care. Whether it's a hobby, speaking kindly to ourselves, because a lot of us have a lot of negative self-talk. That's a piece of affirmations in the journal that I made. It's affirmations on each page. You have to feed yourself your eye gate and your ear gate. You have to guard it. So that is the long answer, but the short answer is gentle, intentional care for yourself, because we're giving it to everybody else all the time now. We're giving it to the work people, we're giving it to our kids, we're giving it to our family, we're giving it to our significant others, but we're forgetting about ourselves.
Wow. You just talked to something there, because before we got on tonight, I talked about how I haven't been feeling well since I went away for a leadership training, and I've just constantly gone. I got up yesterday and went to work yesterday. But I tell you, I need to take that time in order for me to heal, because and it's because you got to constantly go because of circumstances. And you just talked about something about negative self-talk. So the next question is, in what ways can a person challenge their negative self-talk with compassion?
Mm. Well, first we have to acknowledge that it's negative. Like a lot of us think it's normal, like this is what I'm thinking because this is what somebody has told me or this is what I've heard. But first acknowledge that it is a negative thought. You know, you might say to yourself, okay, I notice I'm feeling this way instead of I am this way. Did you get that? I noticed I am feeling this way instead of I am this way. Don't identify with the negative self thought. It's negative. We want to debunk it. Okay. We want to practice the self-compassion by treating yourself as you would a close friend. The same information that you would tell your BFF is the same information that you need to tell yourself.
Ooh, say that again. Say that again. Say that one again.
The same thing you would tell your BFF is the same thing that you need to tell yourself, because the BFF gonna listen to us. But when we're back at home, sitting in the bed, thinking about these thoughts or these things that have gone on in our day, we're not listening to ourselves. We're listening to the negative self-thought. Okay. And then the next piece is when it actually arises, we're acknowledging that it's negative. We're combating it with something positive, at least 2 to 3, honestly, at least 2 to 3 positives to combat it, because that's just scientifically speaking. And then you want to counter it with an affirmation, whatever it is. I am enough. That's my favorite one. I am enough. You know, you want to counter it with a gentle affirmation, or you want to write it down. This is where you bring in your journal piece, mindful moments, capturing clarity in each day, or any journal that you might have. It might not even be mine, but any piece that you're actually writing in, write down what you are worthy of and your growth that you are doing. Because that's the beauty of the journal. The journal is you're going to see yourself growing as you actually write down. That's the beauty of journaling to me. I could actually go back to the journal after a year and be like, okay, look at how far I done came since last year because of what I done wrote down, you know, October 20th, 2023. We're in 2024 and I'm sitting on the podcast. I didn't think this was going to happen, you know, but this is something that I will write down.
Yes, it is just so, it's so amazing that, you know, even when you go back to look at some things that we say we're going to do, and you're right when you journal it down, because for me, I always simplify with, you know, Habakkuk 2:4, write the vision and make it plain. So when I'm constantly writing these things down, you're actually writing it and speaking it into existence. That's the first step. And I love the fact that I love this journal myself. Look, I haven't started. I looked in it, but to look through that, but the reflection part of it, that is going to be my piece, even from the end of the day, to do the reflection on the day, because what I missed in the day that I won't miss tomorrow.
Right.
So that whole thing there, this is, look, audience, you better go get it. Grab it, because it is very essential that you have it. Okay. So look, we're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back, because this journal is broken down in, you know, some places. Again, we're talking about mindfulness and the self-love. We touched a little bit on self-love, but we're going to talk about self-care next. Journaling, which she has went into, Kristian has told us about. But here it is. After we do all of that, where is the clarity in the wellness? So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back. Welcome back to another episode of Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. And I am here with my co-sister here, Kristian Wilson of Aspirations Health. And listen, she has an awesome journal that you want to invest in, because this is the part we're talking about, because we talked about the mindfulness, we talked about self-love, but when we talked about, we're going to hit on self-care. It is essential that you do things to invest in yourself. regardless what it is. It might be, I know a lot of things, people look at things like money all the time because I don't have money to go to these different things. But best believe me, there are some cheap ways to do some self-care. So I just want to say, Kristian, so what activity that you do that you connect with your self-care? And for the audience, for those who are watching tonight, what kind of connection can they make to self-care to actually start a regimen? Because a lot of people hear about it, but they really don't do nothing about it.
Well, when you think about it, you have to think about activities that actually bring you joy, activities that bring you peace, activities that align with your authentic self. Okay. So we ain't doing something because somebody else is doing it. We're doing it because it's actually something that's going to help us. So again, bringing back what we have been talking about, journaling can be a way of actually doing it. Meditating is a way of actually doing it. And this is guided meditation, guided imagery. Walking in nature is a way of actually promoting self-care, and even engaging in creative pursuits. Like I paint. Like that's one of the things that I do. I didn't even know that I could paint until I went to a party like 2 years ago, and I won. Like I won first place, and I'm like, what? I actually know how to paint. So now I get canvases and I just paint at the house. I have like little self-care paint parties for myself on the weekend when I don't have anything to do, don't have any pressing responsibilities, and it's just a time for me to just connect to myself. I have my music going, I have my little green tea happening, and I have all my little acrylic paints and my paint brushes, and I just have a time by myself. Sometimes my daughter does it with me, but other than that, like that's one of the ways that I kind of connect with myself. So you just have to find something that's authentically you when it comes to actually taking care of yourself.
And you said something too. You brought out a 3-letter word, joy. Something that brings you joy. It could be just going sitting in your car and ride to the next lake or near some water and just take a breathe, or just do some deep breathing exercises.
Yep.
So that's a part of that is a part of a regimen that you can do for the self-care. And then again, just journaling. So let's put that. So Kristian, let's show them this book again.
Okay, we saw it again. Oh, we kind of blur. We kind of
There it
see.
is. It's mindful moments.
It's thick because it's for the whole year. It's for the whole year. It's not just something that you're just gonna get and forget about it. Like this is something that you're going to actually write in, reflect, put your actual schedule down, and actually put down your goals. You're going to put down the things that you actually want to achieve and track it. Along with tracking the goals, you're tracking your mood too, because again, with that journaling, you're trying to develop a pattern. You're trying to see the pattern of what's going on with you, what's going on with your mindset, what's going on with how you're dealing with, individuals in your life. You only see that if you're tracking it. You only know what to target if you're looking at it. We don't know what to target unless we can see it. We don't know what to see unless we start tracking. We don't know what to start tracking unless we start actually taking care of ourselves, self-care, taking time for ourselves, and actually reflecting at times, being in that quiet space so you can hear.
Ooh, so that's going to lead us down to the question when we're talking about, when you get to me, basically you're talking about this clarity that you're talking about, and clarity, overall wellness. When you're talking about the mood tracking, how to, to look at how you're dealing with people. Maybe it may be something that I'm going through the month, that this could probably actually help you identify that, hey, maybe I don't need to be around people. This is my time, my space that I need. So I totally get it. So when we're talking about the overall wellness with clarity, I love it. So what does holistic wellness mean to you, and how can one achieve it? And then when we're talking about the HOLISTIC, but we also know that we want to bring it to the whole, which is a WHOLISTIC as well. When we're talking about clarity and wellness.
Well, I'm going to talk about the HOLISTIC wellness, because that is what we've been talking about the whole time, the mind, body, and spirit, bringing it all together. It means just paying attention to all aspects of your well-being. And again, I'm going to say it again, pay attention, because a lot of times we notice it, but we don't actually pay attention to it. So paying attention to your physical health as well as your emotional, mental, and spiritual. Because if all of that is not aligned, we are off kilter. We are off kilter. And that is the way, that's where the clarity comes in. And then when we actually achieve this, this balance requires, again, what Michelle started off with, being mindful of the practice of actually doing it. Just like we eat to nourish our body, we have to do the same thing to nourish our mind. We have to engage in movement, maintaining emotional awareness, and just finding peace through spiritual reflection or meditation. So those are ways where we're talking about like holistic wellness, because we're not bringing in, no meds. We're not bringing in a psychiatrist. Like our mind is our mind. This is our strongest piece right here. But we in control of it. We can't let it control us. That's what you have to remember. We are in control of it.
And that comes with breaks in with the clarity. When we know we have clarity. And some of the things that you were talking about, with clarity and overall wellness, a lot of people don't know, we're seeing it a lot more because there's a lot of studies that's been doing where we have a somatic stretching. Somatic stretching can actually get deep down to those tissues because emotions, a lot of people don't know. And I'm gonna put it out there. Each pop, we heal ourselves, we heal our communities. A lot of our community don't understand that all this frustration, all of that stuff goes back into our cells and through our bodies. And we're wondering why we're so frustrated and why we have some of these illnesses. Again, some of these illnesses might not be because of what you eat, and it might be because how you feeling. I just want to stress that. What's in so it's very important. So, and then that goes back to, how does this align with your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, align with your wellness as a goal? Because what is the ultimate goal? We want to be free. We don't want to have a lot of issues. Not saying that issues don't come, but we also know that let me put that claim.
Say that again, please.
Not that issues don't come, but it's how we handle it with clarity up here. That's where it is. So, for the person who's watching this tonight, if they're pondering this question, and this is the question: what areas of my life feel unclear or overwhelming, and how can I bring mindfulness into them? Now, I will say, get the book.
Yes, please. But honestly, if anybody tonight watching this is feeling overwhelmed, honestly, it often stems from a lack of clarity in a specific area, whether it be a relationship, work, personal growth. It's a fog. What mindfulness does is it helps you by allowing you to slow down and observe the problem without reacting. We're not reacting, we're just thinking about it. Okay. Again, we're taking time to journal or meditate on what makes you feel unclear, what's making you feel fogged out, what's making you have the brain fog. And it actually breaks it down into manageable steps so you can actually practice patience, which is a form of self-care, practice self-compassion, which is another form of self-care, and you're able to move forward. So when you are feeling unclear, you have to sit down and break through the fog. You have to sit down and self-reflect, because it comes from you not being clear. And that's kind of why I named my journal, Mindful Moments, Capturing Clarity in Each Day, because it is you actually sitting down and reflecting, hey, what did I miss? What did I miss from today? What did I miss from yesterday? What did I miss from this week? Let's just look. And what do I need to do to prepare myself for the following week? So it's not, it doesn't have to be hard, and it's not a whole kumbaya thing, and you don't have to sit for an hour. You know what I mean? It's 10 to 15 minutes each day of you taking care of yourself. Wow. So you can continue to take care of others.
And that's going to lead us to our last question, because we're ending it with the daily reflections, and you just actually just went into it. You segued right into it. So as we do, what small moments of joy can someone experience in their daily life, and how can they savor the moment?
Joy, that 3-letter word again, joy. But joy can be found in simple things, honestly and truthfully. You know how people say it's the small things that matter? It is. That's that cup of tea in the morning, that quiet space in the morning that you might have before the beginning of the hustle and bustle, before you have to commute to work. Hugging somebody, watching the sunrise, watching it set. Like, those are things that you can do to savor the moment. And when you savor these moments, guess what you guys are doing? You're practicing mindfulness. How beautiful that is. That one little thing that you're doing by watching the sunset or rise, you're practicing mindfulness, because you are fully immersed yourself in the present. You've let go of all distractions, and you are acknowledging the beauty of the moment.
Wow. And Kristian, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. But you know what? Let's bring the audience something. Let's give them something that what she's talking about here, this mindfulness. So we got something. I got a clip right here for you. So just hold on, sit back and relax, because what she's talked about to sum it all up. See?
I was about to go into my little zone in a minute.
Didn't take long. Just a few. Did not take long. It's just something simple as that can actually help you and give you that clarity in your capturing it. That's what it is. Capturing it clarity to your wellness. Mm-hmm. But Kristian, so audience, there's her website. Look her up. Look her up.
Look me up.
Look her up. Look her up. So she's available. If you feel like you need that outlet, she'll be the great inlet for you. Because again, this is all about connection. I keep telling you, everyone, that there's a reason why we get connected. So yes. we zap just like that. We zap just like that. So Kristian, is there anything else that you want to?
You went to the clip. No, I just want to say thank you for having me on, and I just appreciate the opportunity. Check me out at aspirationshealth.com. I am on Facebook and Instagram, or you can just call me on my cell phone and I'll actually answer it.
And should I let the cat out the bag by the spring in March? Is it okay if I let it out the bag?
It is. Go ahead.
So Kristian is actually going to be one of the speakers for our retreat, which is March the 28th through the 31st. So I will actually be having more information and you'll be able to follow me with that. So you got a whiff of it today. So you're going to have more of that. So I just want to say again, Kristian, thank you so much for coming on. And, you know, I'm looking forward to collaborating, you know, with you with this. And, you know, audience, as you said, she talked about affirmations. You know, I always talk about the affirmation at the end of the show. I always tell someone, because, you know, there's a lot of people who might not feel that they're loved. But you know what? If you don't feel that you're loved, just know that you are loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Until next week, I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. See ya.